One narration I often hear from the Pakistani side is that the distance between East and West Pakistan.
From Pakistani perspective, only related to the liberation war or the war of 1971. While for the Mukti Bahini and Indian forces, they, of course, it's kind of home ground for them.
We are always referring to Pakistan military as a Pak Hanadar Bahini.
So the problem is we still have restrictions. We cannot have gathering for more than a certain number of
तो
people.
फिर मैंने बाहर नहीं गई, लेकिन मैंने बांग्लादेश की वेस्ट में गया था. हमेशा बांग्लादेश में जाना fulfilling. The things that Pakistan is famous for, like Shalimar Garden and Badshahi Mosque. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये सारी चीज तो मेरा भी था.
Exactly. Somehow
मेरा भी
वो
था.
खो गया आप लोगों
मैं
से.
क्यों नहीं जा सकती अभी वहां? मेरा क्यों इतनी पाबंदी है जाने के लिए? One narration I often hear from the Pakistani side is that the distance between East and West Pakistan is too much, that it wouldn't be possible till the end to be together.
So
What
this
is your
narration is
opinion
from
about it?
Pakistani. This is Pakistani point of view.
Yeah, many Pakistani people say me this thing.
I have a opposite experience. This is something I heard from my Bangladeshi friends, and for them,
Especially from Pakistan Army people, I hear it a lot.
Okay.
Distance is so much. How can we go there? It's so far away.
Oh, well, now I know the difference. You know why? From Pakistani perspective, only related to the liberation war or the war of 1971. This is the only thing in which they mention the distance, because they're saying it's very difficult to fight a war.
As well. Apart from the war, they also think that controlling from West
But I think,
Pakistan to there.
yeah, but I think if it's just during the peace times and there's a democratic government and there's
Exactly.
a civil
This
service
was
and
my
everything, why do
opinion.
you have to control? So
Exactly. So they said, most of them, they said this thing that, okay, yeah, so the distance was one of the biggest reason. But they will often, okay, they agree. The good thing is they agree that there was unjust, there was discrimination. But what I think, see, they're military personnel. So when they will be trained, they cannot be morally down somehow. So losing or fall of Dhaka is a thing that is not appreciable for military. So they will have to instill some reasons, right? So maybe that's why they're.
If you ask my opinion on that or my comments on that, from military point of view, I would also say that it was not very favorable for Pakistani military to fight there in comparison with Mukti Bahini and Indian forces, because of number one, of course, I would also say distance, because you cannot go through India during the war times, and then you also don't have the benefit that you have no experience of fighting on that part of world. While for the Mukti Bahini and Indian forces, they, of course, it's kind of home ground for them. So
it was very easy, yeah.
It also goes very much favorable for them.
See, there were two narrations. Imran Khan said that when he went to play for cricket, I mean, I'm 100% sure you have heard that speech, right? So I'm not repeating it. But there is also another side, that what we are taught in our textbooks when we are growing up, we are always referring to Pakistan military as a Pak Hanadar Bahini.
And
I don't know. Do you understand what is Hanadar?
No.
It's a Bengali word, or I don't know, it's Urdu word or what?
No,
Hanadar?
I don't know. It's not an Urdu word. It doesn't sound like Urdu.
Do you know Bahini?
Bahini, I know. It's also not Urdu word, but I know the meaning.
Okay, so Hanadar means atrocious. Atrocious, and who fall on you aggressively.
Okay.
To kill you or to do harm to you. That is Hanadar. I mean, you can explain it in this way. So, Pak Hanadar Bahini, it is from the, I mean, whenever a child starts to learn about the history, so they start learning this. So Hanadar Bahini came and raped. Hanadar Bahini came and tortured. Hanadar Bahini came and blazed your home. So why do you think I don't blame them. I mean, why do you think these kids, when they will grow up, even if they read the history properly, there would be something in their mind, right?
Because that's what they are taught.
Yeah. So,
Actually, in
of
this
course, the
way,
military of Pakistan didn't have a very good presence in Bangladesh, I would definitely say, especially their Operation Searchlight. I think it was not required. Military action. I mean, of course, of course, I'm sure they have tortured. Maybe what they might have their own reason, but they have torture, that's true. But I mean, from the childhood, you were teaching this and not giving the other perspective, which might not be so right.
Which I think a state would never give, a nation state would never give. They would always try to manipulate. But I think we already talked about this curriculum thing in both countries in our last talk, and
Yes,
I think I would
right.
just repeat a little bit that in this scenario, actually, I still see Pakistani curriculum comparatively better.
Yes.
In the sense that negative side is that they also do not tell the facts, 100% facts, but at the same time, it's not really teaching hatred toward Bangladeshi.
Yes.
Yeah, so
they are
that is
not
the positive
maligning
side.
Bangladeshis, but we are maligning actually. We are
Yeah.
maligning Pakistan nation.
So that is the reason when I really get in touch with people and I started seeing the Bangladeshi national narrative when grew up. I was in complete shock. I was really not expecting this. But then with time, I get to talk to many people, and then of course, being a human being and just they're really nice people and very welcoming toward me. I found a lot of Bangladeshis very welcoming towards Pakistanis, and that's how I was also welcomed in Bangladesh. But that thing, when it comes to discussion and when you start talking about the differences between the ideologies, then that's the time when they would never forgive you. They would majority of them would find you would make you accountable of whatever your military did at that time. So I believe if I was in that time, I would also not agree to whatever my government is doing. So why I'm being questioned for that?
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
They don't understand that the people now, like the current Pakistani people who were born after 1971, they have no role in it. So, but the current Bangladeshi people cannot accept it, unfortunately. There are problems. If I speak Urdu with any Bangladeshi, in front of any Bangladeshi who is a little bit anti-Pakistani, so they will say that I'm a Rezakar, that
exactly. This Razakar thing
I'm
is
pro
always there.
Jamaat Islami.
I find so many interesting things on my videos, like people, the way they give their comments. Some of them are like very positive in the sense that they really have some point of view and they really want to make some point. And that really, I really appreciate those things that people with knowledge, with information, they come and they take things positively. Then there comes people who would appreciate you and would welcome you and all that. And then there would be people replying to their comments and calling them Razakar.
Yeah, these are very common things,
Exactly.
unfortunately. If you say the truth or if you want to give a rational point of view, that might be wrong, but that is your own rational point of view.
Exactly.
Everyone has the right to express, but they cannot even accept it, unfortunately.
Exactly, that's the thing. So I sometimes enjoy reading the comments, but sometimes it also makes you upset.
Frustrating, right?
Yeah. So there are both things. Good thing is it's being balanced by good people. So it's not always negative.
Tell me one thing, why you were so much interested about this Pak Bangla thing? What made you so much enthusiastic or going into it?
Okay, in a broader perspective, history and culture is something which fascinates me a lot. Okay, in a broader perspective, regardless of whether it's Bangladesh or whatever. So history and cultures, these two things are always there in my life, and I'm always very much interested in knowing. And then what made me very much interested in Bangladesh thing or Pakistan Bangladesh thing is, as I said earlier, since my childhood, I always used to think about it, because what I was told by my parents was that this Bangladesh used to be Pakistan, and this was part of Pakistan. But then there were problems. They had very many financial issues. There were floods and all that, and government was unable to help them. And then there were movements, and then India's involvement. That is our national story. Okay, so
which is true, isn't it?
Which is true. So India's involvement, and then India attacked. We lost that war. General Niazi surrendered. I remember they even told me the name of General Niazi. I never knew who is the General Niazi in my teenage, of course, early teens. So they used to tell me the whole story. So I think since that time, I was very much interested, and I always wanted to know how is it like now, what people think. And I used to think that maybe they also have same affection for us, that, oh, they used to be with us and now we got separated because of common enemy or something like that. But yeah, that's how it started building. And then in my further studies, even I did my master's in political science, so it includes foreign policies and international relations and all that. So somehow I'm here now. I went home this March. Yeah, last March I went on visit to Pakistan. Yes, Achha. And I went there after 3 years because of COVID. Wow. Because I used to visit my family every year, once a year. But then because of this COVID thing, I couldn't visit. And very unfortunate, during that time, my grandma also passed away. She was a wonderful lady, and she was so sorry to hear it when she passed away. And yeah, we grew up hearing a lot of stories from her pre-partition. Pre-partition means pre-1947.
Okay.
So this time I spent most of my time at home with my family, because before, whenever I go, I used to keep going around, visiting different places, seeing my friends. But this time I had my intention already that I would spend all the time at home.
And so I think you had a quality time there.
I really had a good time. I really had a good time.
Have you tried Sohan Halwa?
Sohan Halwa, not this time, but of course I have tried it. Multani Sohan Halwa. It's from Multan, basically.
I love it, actually. I don't know. I don't like sweetmeats much, or I'm a little bit conscious about taking sweets, but I like this one. I mean, I don't know. I love it.
I like it too. But this time I didn't try it. Yeah.
Oh, you went to Pakistan and you didn't try it. I mean,
well, for being a Pakistani, and we have a lot of things.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's not something which would be very special, like I would go to have it. But instead I have been having homemade things like lassi and makhan and all those things.
Lassi is yogurt, right? I mean,
it's yogurt. Yeah, the drink made of yogurt. But it's little different. Oh, you guys have burhani.
We have burhani, but it's different from lassi.
Very different.
We also have lassi. It's sweet, right? It's sweet.
Actually, it can be both. It can be salty or it can be sweet. It's up to you.
All right. Okay.
So now there are many certain ways to make it, but I remember my grandma, she used to make it in a pot made of clay, and then she would have that wooden thing inside. We call it mudhani. And then yes, and then she would be sitting on the floor, tying it with the charpai, and then she would be doing this thing to shake it. Yes.
Okay.
I think I would have some videos in a very bad quality because very old. That my grandma is making lassi.
I love to see this type of traditional things. It's okay. How do you say in Urdu if you want to say that's wonderful? Zabardast or
Zabardast is a better word. Zabardast, bahut acha. If you want to give it an Islamic touch, then mashallah.
Mashallah is the comment.
You also went to Bangladesh, so how was your tour? You can conclude it in few words, in few sentences in Urdu.
In Urdu. अच्छा, हाँ, तो फिर आई वेंट टू बांग्लादेश। उधर जाके मैंने अपने पेरेंट्स, वालिदैन के साथ अपनी वक्त गुजारी।
हम्म,
और ढाका इज सो कंजेस्टेड सिटी, मतलब बाहर जाने का मूड नहीं होता है इतना। और
ट्रैफिक की वजह से।
हाँ, जाने की इतनी जगह भी नहीं है, क्योंकि ये जो डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स शेख हसीना की हुकूमत ने सारी बांग्लादेश नहीं, ढाका में ज्यादातर हो रही है। तो फिर हाँ, वैसा बाहर बहुत डस्टी है। तो फिर मैंने बाहर नहीं गई, लेकिन मैंने बांग्लादेश की वेस्ट में गया था। या
तो वेस्ट
सो
मतलब ये टुवर्ड्स इंडियन बॉर्डर?
यस,
वेल, इंडियन बॉर्डर इज ऑन द बोथ साइड्स, बट असम की साइड नहीं,
अपर
दूसरे
अपर
साइड।
अपर अपर राजशाही,
अच्छा,
राजशाही
यस,
कैन यू?
यस, यस, यस।
हाँ, तो राजशाही हैज वन ऑफ द अच्छी क्वालिटी के मैंगो मिलते हैं वहाँ।
ओके, ओके।
और राजशाही की आम शायद पाकिस्तान की वजीर आजम को
ओ,
भेजा
मे बी, मे बी।
किया, हाँ। तो आई वन देयर, मोस्टली फैमिली के साथ टाइम स्पेंड किया।
सही है।
और हाँ, कहीं घूमा नहीं है।
आप
घूमने की मेरी ख्याल में
बोगरा
ढाका
जा
में कोई
चुकी हो
जाता
या
नहीं।
नहीं? आप बोगरा गई हो कि नहीं?
मैं एक दफा गई हूँ।
हम्म।
तो मेरी जो फादर साहब, वो he is in a big position in power supply,
ओके।
so he had to travel all over Bangladesh.
हम्म।
तो कभी कभी वो मुझे लाइक he used
साथ
to
ले
take
जाते
me,
हैं।
हाँ, साथ साथ ले जाते थे। तो in that tour I went to Bogra। उस वक्त मैं बोगरा गई थी उनके साथ। And they have a famous dahi।
तो ओवरऑल कैसा रहा विजिट? फुलफिलिंग?
हमेशा बांग्लादेश में जाना फुलफिलिंग होता है। उधर का जो वाइब होता है वही काफी है फुलफिल होने के लिए। मैं ये समझ सकती हूँ कि अगर आप यूरोपियन इधर जो लाइफस्टाइल जो है, या फिर इधर का जो ऑरा है, उसके साथ कंपेयर करें तो इट्स कम्प्लीटली बहुत डिफरेंट है, बहुत ही अलग है। लेकिन फिर भी वहां जाने का बाद ये जो एक अपनापन महसूस होता है,
सही बात
दैट इज
है।
प्राइसलेस।
एग्जैक्टली, यही एक चीज है जो हमें वापस लेके जाती है।
हाँ,
क्योंकि वो उन चीजों के साथ जो एक यादें जुड़ी हैं और वो जो फीलिंग्स हैं वो वहां जाके वो फील की जा सकती हैं। तो
लेकिन बांग्लादेशी होके मुझे कभी कभी होता है कि हमने 1947 में हमारी पार्टीशन हुई, और उसके बाद गोभी, जो आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज दैट कॉल्ड, अ डेजर्ट,
गोभी
गोभी इन
डेजर्ट, या
पाकिस्तान। हाँ,
दैट इज
व्हाट
नॉट
यू कॉल डेजर्ट?
चोलिस्तान, द पाकिस्तानी डेजर्ट।
यस, यस, यस,
ओ, दैट इज चोलिस्तान और थर।
चोलिस्तान, सॉरी।
या
यू व्हाट यू कॉल डेजर्ट इन उर्दू?
सहरा।
सेरास, हाँ। तो गोभी सेरा, और या फिर K2, ये जो
हम्म।
द थिंग दैट पाकिस्तान इज फेमस फॉर, लाइक शालीमार गार्डन एंड
हम्म।
बादशाही मॉस्क। आई मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये सारी चीज तो मेरा भी था।
एग्जैक्टली, समहाउ
मेरा भी
वो
था।
खो गया आप लोगों
मैं
से।
क्यों नहीं जा सकती अभी वहां? मेरा
हम्म।
क्यों इतनी पाबंदी है जाने के लिए?
हम्म।
असल में 1947 में ये सारी चीज मेरी भी थी। सो
एक्चुअली, जो आइडियल काम हो सकता है ना, जो होना चाहिए था, वो तो ये
हाँ,
हो सकता है कि जो भी हो चुका पास्ट में वो तो हो गया, बट अभी तो एक बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग बिल्ड होनी चाहिए अमंग ऑल दीज थ्री कंट्रीज एटलीस्ट, कि इनके लिए कोई स्पेशल स्टेटस होना चाहिए इनका आपस में एक दूसरे के लिए, इंस्टेड ऑफ
हाँ।
इतना वो ट्रेवल रिस्ट्रिक्शंस एंड ऑल दैट। तो बट आई थिंक वी आर स्टिल फार फ्रॉम दैट काइंड ऑफ अरेंजमेंट, अभी बहुत दूर है, अभी बहुत टाइम लगेगा हमें वो चीज अचीव करने के लिए।
मुझे ये सोच के हैरानी होती है कि बांग्लादेश और पाकिस्तान में डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट्स थी कराची टू ढाका, वो भी
हम्म।
अभी बंद हो चुकी है। लाइक दैट
वो
इज रियली अनफॉर्चुनेट।
वो थी पीआईए की तरफ से थी, पाकिस्तान
हाँ,
इंटरनेशनल एयरलाइंस।
हाँ।
आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल में उसका जो रीजन है ना, वो पॉलिटिकल रीजन नहीं हो सकती, बिकॉज पीआईए कॉन्टिन्यूसली डाउनफॉल पे है। तो
अच्छा,
पीआईए की फ्लाइट्स, डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट्स काठमांडू नेपाल होती थी, और बहुत सी थी जो कि उन्होंने खत्म कर दी हैं विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम। तो मेरा
अच्छा।
ख्याल है वो उनकी वो रीजंस हैं, कोई ऐसा पॉलिटिकल रीजन मेरे ख्याल में नहीं होगी।
पॉलिटिकल थोड़ा सा ऐसा है कि मैंने जो इन्फॉर्मेशन सुना है दैट बांग्लादेशी एयरपोर्ट ऑफिशियल्स मिसबिहेव्ड विद PIS समथिंग ऑपरेशन ऑफिसर और समथिंग हेड ऑफ समथिंग विद द वाइफ ऑफ सो उसके बाद पाकिस्तान ने कंप्लेन किया बांग्लादेशी हुकूमत को और बांग्लादेशी
मे बी
हुकूमत ने कोई स्टेप्स
दैट
नहीं
सॉर्ट ऑफ
लिया।
थिंग्स हो सकती हैं।
हाँ, तो इसके बाद ही फ्लाइट्स, और वैसे भी अभी बांग्लादेश वीजा नहीं इश्यूज करते पाकिस्तानी को, आई मीन
वेरी डिफिकल्ट, मिल जाता है वीजा, कुछ लोग हैं जो ले रहे हैं, जा रहे हैं, बट इट्स अ
बहुत
लॉन्ग
डिफिकल्ट।
डिफिकल्ट
हाँ, मुझे
प्रोसीजर।
पता नहीं आपको कब मिला था,
मुझे
2019
2018 में।
2018 में, अच्छा सॉरी, हाँ।